So this is the full climb up Calobra in Mallorca. I'm currently sitting with my girlfriend Becky,
Yay.
who you might know from the live stream Zwift races. She is the moderator in the chat, and we're going to watch the full climb up Calobra for a sub 30-minute attempt. Whether we get, I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but you're gonna see. Am I gonna make sub 30?
Well, you could skip to the end of the video.
No one's allowed to skip to the end of the video. We need those eyeballs. We need that watch time.
How high is it?
How high is it? I think it is 620 something meters. I think of climbing. Yeah, 628 meters of climbing. Average 7.1% gradient.
That's nothing.
9.4k. No, in fact, that you're right. I wanted it to be steeper.
No.
The steeper it is, the easier I find it to push watts. So like that's why I like Alpe d'Huez, because it's a much steeper average
right
gradient.
Now you've got Alpe de Bus.
Alpe de Bus.
So bus. Southern accent bus.
What's it in Spanish? Bus.
Bus is the same. Autobus.
Alright, well, here we go. So the segment starts about now. And I'm telling myself to calm down, but I'm thinking about speed bumps and how annoying they are to negotiate. And here we go. So you'll see the countdown from 30 minutes and the process that I go through in order to try and get to the top. Yeah.
Sorry, that was my overtaking noise.
Yeah, no, it's good. We need some sound effects beyond me just breathing heavy.
Already?
Yeah, breathing heavy. That's the thing. So in my mind, I'm trying to stay calm, and all your body's trying to do is conserve energy and tell you, like, suck in all the excuses, just like, oh, you're breathing too heavy, oh, your watts are too high, oh, you're going past this guy too fast.
Can you see, like, obviously you can see on the screen the cadence. I know
cadence,
what that is now.
Reps per minute.
Cadence and the watts. Can you see that on your bike?
Yes, so on that little computer in front of me, I can see the cadence and the power, and those are the two metrics that I've got. I think you just heard a sheep. Like,
I thought that was you.
No. So, like, this isn't very steep at 5%, and
so many cyclists.
yes, so many cyclists. And at the moment, I'm like, I wish it was steeper so that I could maintain higher watts without me putting in so much panicky effort. Because right now, I'm sort of panicking because it's so flat. I've got 3%, 2%, 1%.
Isn't this the way that everyone starts off something like this? They always start panic.
Yeah, well, I do, and I think it's easy to, because what you're in for is going to hurt, and your body's trying to quit while it's ahead, I guess.
Did you look at the route before? Do you know what you're in for?
Not really. I mean, I descended down this, and so every corner I'm thinking about, right, remember how far that was.
Oh, wait, so you started at the top and went to the bottom to go back. Oh, so you've seen this route.
So I've seen it, but because there's only one way in and one way out. So that's why there's so much traffic. It goes to
a beach?
Yeah, to a beach. And to a really, like, cheesy
so
old
that's
person's
why all
restaurant.
The coaches are coming down.
It is, to deliver all the old people to the really bad restaurant at the bottom. And so there's always coaches, always tourists, and they always come to the beach, and it's just always chock-a-block. And this was not as bad as it gets, like, especially not for cyclists. But I do encounter a few buses.
Do you get any, like, because obviously you're overtaking all these people.
Yeah.
Do you get anything off that? Or are you just totally focusing on yourself?
No, so I wish that they were going faster so that I can have someone to chase. So I would much prefer to have someone to chase than just to be passing people. I mean, it's nice to be passing people, but you start to think, am I going too hard? If they're going that pace, am I going too hard?
Well, no, they look like they were going really slow.
Yeah. Well, maybe they're just happy. If they're happy,
you're out of the seat already. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Because because it feels so flat. You're like, well, in order to maintain these watts, I need to find ways of doing that, and just breaking it up a bit.
Did you have in your head a certain level of watts that you needed to keep?
So my target in my head was 340 watts, and I knew that 340 watts would do it justice.
Ooh,
here comes a bus.
Oh my god.
So if anybody I would be probably dead if anybody decided to try and overtake that bus then on the left hand side. So it's kind of risky, and the thing is with that is that I know your life's on the line, so you're going to drop the watts. You're not going to go as hard as you
should put your life on the line.
Exactly. In the pursuit of a sub 30 second Calobra time.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
You got one chance.
So 340 was a number that I thought, yeah, that'll do it justice, but also was a number that I knew wasn't going to hurt too much. So I thought, at least tell yourself sub 30, tell yourself 340 watts, so that is a number that you're at least happy with, that is going to make you go up. Because if I'm telling myself, oh yeah, I'm just going to go easy, then I'm never going to do it justice. But at least 340 watts felt like I'd have to try. But that maybe in the moment I'd be able to push myself harder. And then as I started out here, and you can see the numbers is like well above 340, I'm feeling pretty good.
Are you just out of the seat now just so you can overtake these people in style?
Maybe. That and the fact that I'm getting bored of sitting in the saddle and just break up. Yeah, see, these guys are going for it.
Look.
So
no one's overtaken you yet.
I shouldn't have gone this hard. That's one thing. I think I should have started off a lot softer at 340 watts and then ramped it up later on in the effort. And by this point, I'm actually starting to wonder, can I sustain this? Or can I sustain over 340? Am I going to blow up? And the last thing I want to do is at any point feel like I'm blowing up.
Did you honestly think when you set off, I can do this? Honestly. You could say yes.
No.
You didn't think you were going to do it?
No, I didn't actually think I was going to do it, no. And it was just that I thought in the moment I'm going to have enough adrenaline that's going to push me through. And that's all I don't know, I quite like the underdog element. I think I wouldn't do these things if I just thought, oh yeah, it's going to be easy. What
percentage of people get sub 30? Do you know?
So out of like 80,000 people who've ever done it, I think you get into like 300s. But like, this is one of the most famous climbs in the world, and everybody who ever goes up it does it full gas, pretty much.
Well, these people don't look like they're
So
doing
this
full
guy
gas.
in front of me was somebody who started to try and come away from me. So he was actually going for it, and then I feel like he thought we were going too hard, so he decided to do his shoe up and drink something out of his water bowl. But he tried to chase me for a bit, but it made me kick my watts up at the same time. So I was like, oh, this is good. I want somebody to here we go. So this was probably the most dangerous part, where like I thought, am I gonna make it?
Oh god.
So again, if someone was descending past the bus, I don't think this would have been a sub 30, that's for sure.
Well, was it? That's the mystery.
We don't know. And now I'm feeling good that I got past that guy who started to try and get away from me. I was like, okay, cool, we're still feeling pretty strong. The watts are still there.
This is every car's worst nightmare. 3 people side by side.
Yeah. Every British tourist's worst nightmare.
Yeah, look, wow, single file.
Yeah. But it's starting to get a bit steeper now, and the thing I want to do is get into a rhythm. And so when the climb is steep and there's like a long straight in front of me, that's when I can kind of get comfortable and get into a bit more of a happy place where I can bring my breathing back down to a calm level, and I feel like I can control the effort. Whereas at the moment I'm kind of still searching for a steeper ascent, and there's all this distraction going on, and so it feels like it's really hard to get to stop the excuses. Every one of these cars going past me is like, oh, don't go too hard because you might lose control and hit one of the cars, and oh, the ground's a bit, like every excuse your body's trying to use just to slow you down, to conserve energy. Like at the moment it's 2%, 3% gradient, and I'm like, what's the point if it's only going to be this gradient, because you're never going to be able to maintain the watts.
Were you like giving yourself negative talk?
Yeah, trying to fight the negative talk. Like until it becomes like steep and consistent, where I can see the road in front of me for a bit. Then like, so this bit I quite like, where it's steep and I can see a way ahead of me. Then I know that I can maintain the watts, because in my mind the only thing that I'm worried about is can I keep it above 340? Can I keep it above 340 watts? And I guess that's the what would you call it, the central point that I keep bringing myself back to. So when I'm panicking over here, panicking over there, distractions over there, I'm always trying to bring myself back to just the number 340 on my cycling computer and keeping above that, and sort of using it as a keepy uppy, as if I'm sort of kicking a football up in the air and trying to keep it up and just trying to keep it above 340. And so whatever distractions are going on around me, just make sure you keep it above 340, and you know you'll do it justice. But it's a battle. And it's nice to be passing people, but I kind of want someone just in front of me who's going the same pace.
Giving you a Zwift draft.
Yeah, give me a Zwift draft. Exactly, yeah, exactly. Where's that drafting effect?
Yeah. Draft. Not draft. There's no R.
Well, we got to cater to both the north and the south.
Look at the scenery.
Yeah, it's pretty beautiful.
Why did you just stop and take it in?
Exactly, take a picture. Yeah, there's a viewpoint coming up. Yes, but this bit I like because it's steep and I can see a long way ahead of me. And then that way
Why
I
do
can
you
get
like
calm.
steep?
Because steep means that you're forced to maintain the same speed. You're forced to push a higher wattage.
You like being forced.
I like being forced. Yeah, give me pressure and I'll respond. That's the thing. It's like when it's less steep, it's just
boring.
Just harder to maintain the watts for someone who's practiced on climbs so much.
That's so strange. Because you'd think you'd be able to maintain what's more on a flatter
something to do with the gravity, gravity pulling you down, and I don't know. And yeah, some people like the flats a lot more. Some people like steep sections. But I think as well as that, I prefer there to be a consistent gradient. Whereas this is quite technical, so it gets technical when it's like steep, flat, flat, steep. When it gets mixed up, it's a lot harder to maintain the same amount of watts. Just because you have to change your cadence, change your gears all the time, think about how you're responding to the terrain. Whereas if there was a massive like 9.4k consistent gradient climb that was like 8%, like over 10%, I would find it a lot easier to maintain wattage up it. But this is the real world, this is not Zwift.
Well, you're doing alright.
We're doing alright, we're passing people, that's good. It's breathing pretty heavy, but that's the point. I think if I was not breathing heavy, then you're not doing a proper TT, you're not doing it justice. Because with a TT, you should be going hard all the way up, is what I believe anyway. I mean, it's good to pace it, to know your limit and not to blow up. So as long as you're not blowing up, then you want to be going as hard as you possibly can. Pushing your limit, because otherwise what is the point in doing this if you're not going to be pushing at your limit?
And I'm exhausted already and it's still got 18 minutes to go.
Still got 18
I'm
minutes.
like, sat here and
Well, this is the thing, I was like, this is the thing your body tells you in the moment is, I can't believe this is going to be going on for any longer than it already is. So I can see now that I think I don't know, maybe it starts to flatten out. I'm just like, any time it started to, the terrain changed, I was just like panicking.
I wonder how you would have done if you'd have set off, like in Zwift where you set off in a group and you have a front run group.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder how much different you would have done.
I would love to do that, like a group TT.
With all the buses coming.
Yeah, Jesus, massacre.
Yeah, just cyclists flying off the edge.
Imagine if that's an upgrade for Zwift.
Oh, here we go, oh my god.
Hey.
That's so scary. Oh no.
I don't know if the GoPro makes it look better or worse. There's another one. The worst thing is when the buses are on the switchbacks, because they're pro drivers, they know what they're doing, and I think they would stop if...
Well, they must be used to all these cyclists.
Yeah,
Look at the
for
amount
sure.
of cyclists.
Yeah.
That's a crazy level of cycling.
And I guess it's just wonder how much of an idiot you are, how much you want to push it, how much you want that sub 30 time, whether you slip past the bus on one of the switchbacks.
It's a shame that the road has traffic on it.
Yeah, like you feel like they should hand out bikes at the top and make you descend, all the old people descend on a bike.
Give them like cable cars.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, give them a cable car. Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? It just seems so treacherous to have massive buses going down there, up and down all day long.
Yeah.
But yeah, the scenery. The funny thing is, I'm not taking in the scenery at all.
Well, obviously.
But it's funny because I did a climb one day where I went really hard up it, and then the next day I went up really soft, and I did so much eye candy that I had not noticed from the day before when I was pushing myself, and it's just sometimes it's kind of a shame that you don't take it in. And like, you know, sometimes you only get to do these climbs once. Like I only got to do this climb once during my trip, and I kind of wish I got to do it again just to be able to enjoy it, not do it at like 340 watts.
And get a rocky video.
Yeah, and get a rocky video. Yeah, get a much more stable video. Just speed it up. Yeah. But yeah, crazy landscape. It'd be amazing to live here and this be your local climb. You'd probably get sick of the traffic though. Or maybe just go at times when you knew there wasn't going to be traffic. So this was kind of early in the morning. Early-ish.
Yeah,
I think
what
it was
time?
like 10 a.m. or something.
Not really then.
No, it's kind of hard to, I've already done 60 kilometers to get here.
Yeah, because you told me that it like took you so long. You woke up really early.
Yeah, I woke up really early. I think we left the house for about 7 o'clock, I think. So we left for 7 a.m. Rode out from Alcudia, which is a lot of flat, and then got here, lots of climbing, descended down Calobra, and then went back up again. But all in all, the day was like a 4-5 hour ride just to get here and back.
So you'd already ridden
2 and a bit hours, I think.
How much break did you have?
How much break? No break, I don't think. No,
Well,
yeah, no
you
break.
got there and that was
Got
it.
there, sat and got ourselves psyched up over a can of Coke, and then headed up.
You didn't have the Coke.
No, I didn't have the Coke.
No, that's totally against
my
your
friend
What did
Rich
you
and
have?
Katie had a Coke.
What did you have?
I had nothing.
No,
I
that's
was ready to go.
rubbish.
Any liquid that I was consuming at the bottom was only going to have to be carried up to the top. So I was like, if I'm going to do this justice, I need to not have anything. I don't need anything. I was running on the fuel all the fuel I needed was already in my body, and it was just about pushing it out on the road on the way up, which we're still doing. 390, like we're still going. This is crazy. This is halfway through now. Halfway through.
I just saw 2.
Yeah, I was getting out of the saddle, mate. I was getting out of the saddle.
I mean, we're in the 200s.
Oh God, it's all falling to pieces.
Good job you did the 400s early on.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I was like, well, yeah, it is a good job. It'll probably all even out.
Look at that! Ooh, 100! Ooh.
Oh, we're cutting corners here, but that's because I can see up the road on the other side. So I wonder how many cyclists we passed now. Is anybody counting? Let me know down in the comments, how many cyclists do I pass? Still breathing heavy. It's funny that like
Your breathing's
you
changed.
can breathe
though.
this heavy all the way through, and I get it. I guess it's kind of so. With an effort like this, I want to just block out all the excuses. Go on, what's that?
This guy's really funny. I just love how fast you are. You're just
He's
like,
hunched over.
You're like just like.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know who that guy is, but he just looks so funny, all sluggish and slow.
Yeah, but that might be his fastest time, and he's so happy right now.
I'm not being mean. I
No,
don't know
okay.
who he is.
No, we're not being mean.
This is funny. Look at the scenery.
It's funny that, like, even in the moment as I'm going past these people, I am analysing them for, like, when they hear me coming, are they going to go? And I kind of hope they do. You know, I kind of hope they suddenly go, oh, there's someone behind me. I'm gonna speed up.
Probably
so that we can both go together.
Practice, isn't
Let's
it?
both suffer together. Yeah. Like I would love to be going in a group right now. Like that's probably the only group riding I actually love to my core is when we're all, I guess, in competition. Competition group riding is kind of different though. And I would love, like, I've only done a few group TTs and they were some of the most memorable rides I've ever done. Like when I was in Thailand doing group TTs up Zwift Set-up, which is also like a 40-minute climb. But we'd wake up super early and the first thing we'd all do is go ride up as fast as we possibly could up Zwift Set-up. And it was the...
Say that again, you're very good at
Zwift
saying.
Set-up.
Zwift Set-up.
Zwift Set-up. The Doi. It was the best way to start any day, and I wish I could start every single day with a group TT of something like this, because then everything after it just feels easy. Like after you've done something like this, everything else in life just feels like a breeze.
Well, everything.
Like
actually,
everything.
everything.
Yeah, literally
the rest
everything.
Of your life, forever and
No,
ever.
for the day. For the rest of the day. For the rest of the
That's
day.
a bit of a big statement.
No, for just the rest of that day.
The rest of my life is now a
Well,
breeze.
it definitely feel. Well, yeah, perhaps after doing this Cyclobra TT, everything in the rest of my life feels just a little bit easier.
Oh no. Don't worry, guys. I've done Cyclobra. I can do this.
I think anybody, probably the funny thing is, anybody who's done Cyclobra full gas probably is relating to that right now. But we've got 10 minutes. We're at the 10-minute mark, and I'm kind of. We haven't entered the proper switchback bit yet, I don't think.
What's the switchback?
Switchback is a corner. Put me on the spot now. Is a corner that is like runs straight back on itself. So when you go around the corner, you go on one side of the road, and then the
like
road runs parallel.
A U-turn corner.
Yeah, a U-turn corner.
A U-turn corner.
The comments are going to rip us to shreds with that one. You should.
Switchback. Sorry, switchback.
It's so the
When you
road,
switch
like
it
here
back.
you go. We're switching back because
Switching
180
back.
when a road goes 180 on itself.
Right. I bet this looks cool.
Here you go. This guy's going for it. This guy's going for it. So like, you can tell he's pumping it.
He's heard the mighty ash coming up the rear.
My sweat's falling off. Yeah, look, he's pumping it. And his upper body's moving quite a lot. And he can hear me behind him now. Which is horrible, yeah. And gear changes. When you hear the first thing you hear is gear changes. And you're like, I didn't change gear. Someone behind me must have changed gear.
Yeah.
I better pick it up. And now he's starting to think, I can't really go any harder. And so I'm like, yeah, well, I'm going harder, mate.
He's not wearing the right socks, that's why.
He's true, yeah.
Power socks, and he's power socks.
Power socks? Was I wearing power socks? I'm
no,
not
in
sure.
Zwift your avatar wears power socks.
Oh, right, yeah.
You've got some good socks.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So today I'm wearing just the base layer for the heat management. Look, I could be naked when you look. It's just my arms.
Yeah. Are they burnt? They look red.
No, I think it's just the colour grading.
Oh, right.
This is a pretty good view.
This is cool.
I mean,
I bet this looks really good from
It's
like
just right off the edge.
aerial photos.
End it. Yeah, for sure. Spaghetti Road.
Do you think you're gonna do it at this point?
No. In fact, I had no idea in my mind. I didn't think about the time at all.
What were you thinking? Were you just like, I just need to get there?
I was thinking, do the 340
What, the whole
justice.
way you were thinking that?
Yeah. So at this point, I'm thinking, oh God, this hurts so much, but I need to keep it above 340. Need to keep calm. And I was surprised I was still able to do it. That's the thing. So sometimes when it would drop below, like now, I would look at my power meter and go, no, and then try and kick it up again, and try and go through the pain. So the thing that I did actually, I did this in the granny ring, which is the smallest ring on your bike on the front. Which I had, my gear ratio was 50-34 on the front, and then 11-30 on the back, the cassette on the back. And I think I would have been able to go in the big ring all the way up if I had a 32 on the back, whereas I only had a 30, and I think that one extra gear would have made all the difference. And so instead, in order to be able to pace this effort enough, I had to go in the granny ring, which is the smallest ring on the front cog, which I don't normally do, but this was an effort that warranted it, I think.
Whoa, corner.
Yeah, this was good, and then they'll get a photo. Smile. Yeah. But that's just some techie information that somebody will ask me. What did you do it in the big dog? No, I didn't. I did it in the granny ring, just because I'd done a couple of 20-minute time trials previous to this effort, and I realised that being able to pace a climb like this wasn't as it should be if I was doing it in the big ring, because I think I just needed a bigger cassette on the back. If I had an 1132 cassette on the back, I think I would have been able to do this in the big ring.
I like cassettes.
Cassette?
Cassettes.
Just say the word cassette, or
no, like
as
tapes.
in tapes? Oh my God, you're so basic right now. You're out. You're banned.
No idea.
Somebody ban her.
I do music. It's cassettes. It's music.
That's pretty cool. You can see the switchbacks there. So I was like, I knew that we were getting close when I could see the switchbacks in the distance.
Oh, this is gonna be close. Look at it. 6 minutes.
I had no idea though. I had no idea. I just knew.
Well, you didn't have a clock?
No clock.
Oh.
So I didn't want to look at a clock.
Well, how do you know how long it took? From the GoPro footage?
Yeah. Well, no, from Strava.
Oh, from
So
Strava.
Strava tells me. So I'm being tracked by Strava, and then this footage, the power data and stuff you can see is from the Strava data.
Oh.
But I didn't want to know the time because I didn't want to panic and think, oh my god, I've not got long, and then just blow up. So I just needed to know a number, the power number I needed to hit, and then just carry on trying to hit that power number for as long as I possibly could. And the cadence just comes naturally, but I wanted to maintain a cadence above 80. So anything above 80 is fine.
Oh, this is painful. Oh no, there's a
Whoa,
bus. Oh no.
Oh, jeez.
Not now. That's the worst time for a bus.
It's the switchbacks. Yeah, buses and switchbacks do not mix with cyclists.
Oh, why are they even sending buses down there?
to
stupid.
stop me.
It's stupid.
To stop people from getting a good Calobra time.
People are obsessed with going on tourist holidays.
It's old people.
Isn't it?
It is the old people. You can see they offload them at the bottom. And it was funny.
They should just leave them there.
Yeah, well, when they kind of did, because when we were at the bottom, we were like, "Oh, here comes a coach! Quickly, right? We got to find a time between this coach and the next one," and just like, you don't want to be stuck behind the coach. That's the thing. You definitely don't want to be stuck behind a coach, and I was lucky in that there wasn't a coach in front of me. Ones coming down are probably more risky, but ones going up are probably more detrimental to your time.
Well, I think they're probably coming down because it's 10 in the morning. I don't think
Exactly,
they're not
yes.
coming up, are
So
they?
10 a.m. is probably a good time
Yeah,
to
at least
avoid
they're not coming
coaches going up. Yeah. Imagine the fumes.
Look at
This guy, yeah, like, he's like,
See you
sun's
later."
coming up.
Look at all these losers. Sorry. That just came out.
You just.
Look at them. Look at them. Let's all just stop.
At least you can see these guys. Good fluoro,
I keep
guys.
thinking it's raining. It's not. It's just sweat.
It's my sweat. Yeah, I know. So by this point, I don't remember any of this landscape at all, or even these people. I don't remember any of this. Did this even happen? All I remember is the
It's not on Strava.
Yeah, well, it definitely did. So what I do remember though is the really beautiful bit of road at the end, where it like curves around like a scale electric track on itself and goes over a bridge, which came up a lot quicker than I thought, because not knowing what my time was, or having ever climbed this before, I didn't really know how long it was going to go on for, what to expect. I just knew that there were certain landmarks from descending that there would be a bridge at the top, and the bridge came up way quicker than I thought it was going to.
Why,
So that was a good
is there a bridge
sign.
coming now?
Yeah, I think there's a bridge coming soon. Yeah, like you can see the bridge. Not yet. There's still a couple more. Oh no, maybe soon enough. So we're breathing pretty heavy now. Still keeping it above target wattage, which is a surprise. I mean, think of how long ago I was doing this same wattage. It's crazy to me anyway. But that is the power of the blood. Get that in there. Whoa, dangerous descending there.
Oh, the clouds.
Yeah.
So
Pretty
high.
now. Yeah, I think this is the highest I think I ever climbed in Mallorca. The highest point. So here you go. Yeah, so the bridge comes up now, and I'm like, whoa, that's sooner than I thought.
Quick, go.
So yeah, exactly. So I'm out the saddle going, oh, well, now is the time to empty the tank. But the emptying the tank hurts, so maybe not so much. This bit's so cool though, the way it switches back on itself like a scale electric track. So cool. And so the thing is, I remembered when from descending that this was kind of the final section, but that it goes on for way longer than I remembered.
This is gonna be so close.
So it's long. So it's
2
long.
minutes. Oh my god.
But it was good. The one thing was good to have these people in front of me as targets to try and get past before we got to the finish line. So you can tell my breathing is kind of a lot quicker, a bit more panicked. But even in these moments, you know, you need to be calm. The calmer you are, the better you will do.
Should have told yourself that.
I should have. I think I was trying.
By the sounds of it.
I think I was bloody trying. Yeah. Like, yeah, your body just so many excuses. The negative talk. Even now.
Oh, come on.
Even now, you're like, no, you don't want to pass those people. They're too far ahead.
What's the beeping?
That is me mileage.
No.
It's just, it's nothing that matters to anything.
Whoa, that breathing.
Yeah. Because I thought the end was pretty much around this corner and it isn't.
Oh no.
But what I am glad of is the gradient. I quite like the steep gradient right now. Like it's allowing me. It's probably the one thing allowing me to.
Are you
So
thinking
now,
that
yeah.
these people move, please?
No, exactly. I'm thinking that chase these people before the finish line.
Oh.
However far the finish line is ahead, get to there before them. Look, that was my reaction to seeing the end. I went, ah! So this is it. This is the end. Where that sign is at the top is the end of this. And the countdown now is to the sub 30 time. Here's the sign, that's the finish line. Yeah!
Yeah!
So I did it in a time of 29:42.
Woo!
So I finished with a power of 350 watts, which I was surprised by, and a time that I was surprised by. I would regret it if I came to Mallorca and hadn't done Calobra. I would have regretted it, and so I'm glad that I just turned up. And even if I hadn't got a sub 30 time, I still would have felt satisfied that I'd done it justice because I turned up and pushed myself to my limit, and that's what I felt like I did. But we can still go faster. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much, Becky.
Like it, comment, share it.
Subscribe.
Subscribe.
See you in the next one.
Bye.